Hello. Yes, I've still not fixed it. I know. Too busy. Right. First thing, the boys. There they are, the fat puddings. So we're going to have an accompaniment of snoring. Anyway, the reason for this video is that basically the other day I got embroiled in a conversation on a page, Jim Outcast, which I'm actually admin on. And a lass had claimed that she'd been using clen T3 for 2 years and she'd gained off it. So obviously the usual conversations were, well, T3, sorry, clen T3. T3 is catabolic. This woman's a natural as well in the sense it doesn't use anabolics. So, and you won't go off that and everything else. And she said, oh, she'd researched and found studies. So I asked her to post the studies. And what she posted was actually an advertisement from a website that was selling clenbuterol. And it claimed that there were studies supporting that clen could promote growth. So I thought, you know what? I wonder how many other people have seen this and thought that it was true. So I thought I'd clear it up. So, firstly, is that these claims are based on animal studies. Now, they were using a milligram a day, bearing in mind that clen is dosed in 40 micrograms or 20 micrograms, and that most people start having problems when you start going over 160, particularly when you're talking pharma grade, which is what this stuff was. The first question that comes to mind is, could a human even endure it? And it's doubtful. Now, the reason initially was thought that because clen acts on beta-2 receptors, and there are loads of these in muscles, and clen has the ability to stimulate protein synthesis in a big way, that it would actually have a mechanism for growth. But it didn't work. And there are a few nutters that have tried high dose and run beta blockers to protect the heart. But when they looked into it further, they found that there was an atypical beta receptor, and clen reacts on this. Now, humans, we don't have a high number of these, but certain animals do. And that was why these animals had such a great response to clen in the way of muscle growth and why it doesn't work in humans. Now, clen does have a mild anabolic activity, but it's no greater than eating protein. In fact, eating protein is probably going to be a greater anabolic activity than taking clen for growth. So, categorically, clen cannot cause growth in human beings. And if anyone says you can, it's based on animal studies that do not relate. And it's down to this atypical receptor that certain animals have a higher level in. Now, the next question was clen catabolic or not anti-catabolic? And that depends on the environment. If calories aren't particularly restricted, then clen's going to have a mild catabolic effect. But clen, if you don't know, basically helps our bodies burn fat. But if you're in a calorie deficit, where you're trying to force your body to burn fat, this is generally a function that the body doesn't want to do, particularly if you're on a carb-based diet. So if you are on a carb-based diet and you're trying to manipulate it and force the body to burn fats, it's not something the body's going to readily want to do, then clen has an anti-catabolic effect because it helps metabolize its fat and make it available for energy. Therefore, the user would retain more muscle. So, but if you're not in a calorie deficit, then it's going to have a catabolic effect. So there you go. And for nannies, non-assisted, if you're going to use clen, you're going to have to keep the doses low. You start pushing the doses high, and you're going to start losing size. So there you go. That's the basics. So when you look at stuff and you look at articles and you look at research, it's always worth cross-referencing, and it's always worth looking for secondary sources. And quite often you will find contradicting evidence, and you'll find a study that supports something and a study that goes against it. This is really very common, particularly stuff like TRT. There's numerous studies saying TRT is safe, and there's actually studies saying TRT isn't that safe. And then you've just got to decide which one works in your head from your knowledge as being correct. At the moment, a lot of these things, there's no definitive yes or no. It's best guess based on the evidence that's provided and the knowledge that you've attained as an individual. But to recap, clen cannot cause muscle growth. This may seem stupid and may seem obvious to a lot of you, but like I said, there is information out there on the internet quoting these animal studies saying that it does. So I thought it was worthwhile clarifying that so that there was no confusion. Right, my brain is not working today at all. Could have something to do with legs this morning. Tomorrow I go to Maidstone to spend a day and a half training coppers, not in how to operate in a court as expert witnesses. So I do my presentation on Thursday. Thursday night, I think I'm going to go train down at Crawford Waite in Dartford. And then Friday, we do a mock court scenario. And then Friday afternoon, I'm training 2 clients. And then Saturday morning, I'm in High Wycombe with a client. Saturday lunch, I'm in Newbury with a client. And Saturday afternoon, I'm in Telford with a client. Busy weekend. At least I get Sunday off. So I'll probably do some on the road stuff. That seems to be quite popular. And I'll catch up with you guys soon. Sorry for the snoffies and the sniffles and the snoring and everything else. I think the dogs have got the same bloody cold I have. I thought, all right, it's one, I feel like fucking shit now. But anyway, I'll catch up with you guys soon. So take care.